like to open the special meeting, 16th of February, 3:32 p.m, and thank councillors for their attendance. We also have a couple of councillors online, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, certainly. Councillor Edwards and Councillor Hancock.
Councillor Edwards and Councillor Hancock.
Yes.
You're two people there.
One.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Well, we got everyone, so that's 9. Okay. If there's no other business, item C1, 2021-22 Quarter 2 Budget Review.
Mr Mayor, I've got a conflict.
Please go ahead.
On item C1, 2021-22 Quarter 2 Budget Review, declaring councillors Councillor John Burkett, person with interest myself, on the President of the Mitchell RSL and Combined Sports Club and the Mitchell Camp Draft falls under that their umbrella. The conflict is in relation to projects IDs Q23, supply of mains power to Mitchell Camp Draft Building Option 1, and QT4, supply of mains power to both Mitchell Camp Draft Buildings and Arena Lights Option 2. Type of conflict is prescribed conflict of interest. Oh, sorry, is it the right one?
Prescribed, yeah.
And the action I'll leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Righto. Do we have any other conflicts? Councillor Ladbrook.
The item number is C1, description 2021-22 quarter 2 budget review. Declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Ladbrook, the person with the interests, and related party is myself and my wife Alana. Particulars of interest, my wife Alana Ladbrook is president of the Roma Show Society and I am on the committee member of the Roma Turf Club. My conflict is in relation to IDQ 2-5, Bass's Park, Roma identified works on the grandstand box gutter and other doors, roller doors. Type of conflict is a declarable conflict of interest, and the action I will take it, leave the room while the matter is being discussed and voted on.
Okay. Any other conflicts? Righto. So we'll. Do we have anyone to move into closed? Councillor O'Neill.
I'll move in accordance with the provisions of section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 that council resolve to close the meeting to the public to discuss confidential items that its councillors consider necessary to close the meeting. In accordance with section 254J5 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, the following table provides the matters to be discussed and an overview of what is to be discussed while the meeting is closed. C1 2021-22 Quarter 2 Budget Review, C2 2021-22 Quarter 2 Budget Review to the 31st of December 2021. C3 Nomination of Project for Funding under the Australian Government's Remote Roads Upgrade Pilot Program.
Okay, we have a seconder. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Through you, Mr Mayor.
Yes.
There are
Yes.
no conflicts or statements that anyone wanted to make in relation to C2 at this point.
Oh, C2. Yeah. Yeah, good point. Well, we might just cancel that vote. So this is when obviously everyone's going to be in the room. Does anyone want to make any statements as per what was around before? So we're doing it now, so when we come back we won't be doing statements.
George is first.
Away we go again.
Anyone going?
We're just looking to pull it up on the...
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, okay, Councillor Ladbrook.
Yep, declaring item number C2, description 2021-22 Quarter 2 Budget Review. Declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Ladbrook. Description, the following of capital works budget changes proposed. Roma Campdraft Association contribution towards installation of lighting towers and associated works at the Bassett Park Campdraft Arena, Bassett Park Jockey Room upgrade, Bassett Park Roma kitchen design only, Bassett Park Roma upstairs bar carpet replacement. Statement while I have previously advised of the declarable conflict of interest for those projects, as my wife Alana is president of the Roma Show Society, I now am on the committee of the Roma Turf Club. I have reviewed my personal interest, the matter to be discussed, and the legislative provisions, and now advise that I do not have a declarable conflict of interest, as the matter is in ordinary business, is an ordinary business matter. As such, I intend to participate in the discussion and decision on the matter of the following under the Local Government Act 2009. Further understanding, there may be further matters where my interest give rise to the conflict of interest, and in those specific circumstances I will advise the meeting as they arise. Well, again.
No, that's
Councillor Edwards.
Oh yeah, Councillor Edwards.
Yeah, I'm just going to read this as a statement, not as a declaration, because that's what it says to do based on advice. But anyway, this is item C2, description 2021/22 quarter 2 budget review to 31st December 2021. Declaring councillor, the councillor is Councillor Mark Edwards. Description is capital works budget changes, Roma Aero Club, new hangar site preparation. And the statement is, while I have previously advised of a declarable conflict of interest for this project, I have reviewed my personal interest, the matter to be discussed, and the legislative provisions, and now advise that I do not have a declarable conflict of interest, as the matter is an ordinary business matter. As such, I intend to participate in the discussion and the decision on the matter as allowed under the Local Government Act 2009. Further, I understand there may be future matters where my interest gives rise to a conflict of interest, and in those specific circumstances, I will advise the meeting as they arise. Next. Statement. So item C2, description 2021/22 quarter 2 budget review to 31st December 2021. Councillor is Councillor Mark Edwards. Item description is operating budget changes, Maranoa Christmas Party. Statement is, while I have previously advised of a declarable conflict of interest for this project event, I have reviewed my personal interest, matter to be discussed, and the legislative provisions, and now advise that I do not have a declarable conflict of interest, as the matter is an ordinary business matter. As such, I intend to participate in the discussion and decision on the matter as allowed under the Local Government Act 2009. Further, I understand there may be future matters where my interest gives rise to a conflict of interest, and in those specific circumstances, I will advise the meeting as they arise.
Okay, I'll do C2, 2021/22 quarter 2 budget review, declaring councillor as myself, Councillor Golder. Description, operating budget changes, Maranoa Christmas Party. While I previously advised of a declarable conflict of interest for this project or event, as I own a business on McDowell Street, Roma, Golders, I have reviewed my personal interest, the matter to be discussed in the legislative provisions, and now advise that I do not have a declarable conflict of interest as the matter is an ordinary business matter. Should it say ordinary business budget matter, or is it just ordinary business matter?
Ordinary business item, ordinary business matter,
Yeah,
matter, because it's always about the matter and the interest. Yep.
Okay. As such, I intend to participate in the discussions and the decision on the matter as allowed under the Local Government Act 2009. Further, I understand there may be future matters where my interest gives rise to a conflict of interest, and in those specific circumstances, I will advise the meeting as they arise. Any more? Okay. Councillor Ladbrook, did you want to do one for your statement for this one? They'd be all the same, wouldn't they?
So technically, us two would have to do that again for the same thing we just did.
Yeah, but
Depending on what
this is when you're staying in the room if you decide to do that. This is C2.
But didn't we decide that these are already set in stone and so?
But I think, well, it's up to you if you don't want it, but I would be doing a statement. It's up to you, but.
This is where the confusion is, like.
Yeah, it is.
So
So
it's
But, you know,
premature
if
to
we test the
do that
system,
because we haven't made a
eventually,
decision.
You know, we find out if we're wrong or right. If we just keep going with, you know, against some of the advice and for the other advice, we're never going to get anywhere. We're an hour into the meeting nearly, and we haven't started.
So you're saying you could do those if they get in there? Yeah,
Oh.
righto. Okay, nothing else? Righto. So we'll go back to that vote. We've got a mover and a seconder to move into closed. All those in favour?
Councillor
Yes.
Hancock, yes.
Yeah, that's 9-0. C1, 2021, 22, 22, quarter budget review. Now, we need to break this up into,
Probably three.
oh, here we are.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to deal with C1, but Q1-1 first as a separate item. Roma Girl Guides.
That's excluding those items for which the councillors have conflict.
Okay.
Just put the table in there of what was left on the.
Righto, so do we have those items that we are dealing with now?
These ones here at the table.
Q1, Q2-1, and then if you can scroll up, oh, you got them there.
And that means that everyone can remain.
For this lot, yeah.
So can I make a suggestion
Yes.
so we're not here right afternoon? We just have 7 separate resolutions.
Okay, well, how would that work with you, Kel, or is it easier this way?
Well, if you did it this way, then you can talk all the councillors that are conflicted.
Righto.
Remain.
Okay, so if you scroll up, so
The
I'll
ones you put
move,
in there aren't going
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not sure what you're going to move forward.
Righto.
But I'm putting what's left if you exclude those.
Oh, I see.
righto, so I'll start with, we'll just scroll down so I can just read them. So we're going to be dealing now with Q2-1, and then we just scroll up, please.
No.
Do you want me to move something to start?
Yeah, righto.
I'll move that the Q2-1 Roma Girl Guides building urgent repairs Q27 Roma Neighbourhood Centre establish the incorporated body be included in the Q2 budget review.
Okay, I'll second that.
Councillor Neal, do you need to say for the amount of money?
I can. Roma Girl Guides building urgent repairs, $5,080. The Roma Neighbourhood Centre established incorporated body, $20,000.
Okay, so we've got a seconder for that. I'm happy to second that. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
All those against? So
Councillor Hancock, yes.
2 against and 7 for. Is that correct?
What was that?
7 what?
7-2.
7 2.
7 for and 2 against.
7-4.
I was going to say we've multiplied here.
Okay, so that's that one.
Who was for and against, Mr Mayor?
Just the 2 against.
Well, if I call for a division,
okay.
Councillor Taylor
I didn't
and
see.
Hancock.
I wasn't looking.
Okay, moving on to the next ones that we're dealing with where councillors have a conflict.
This one is,
That was Q23, was it?
Q23 and Councillor Burkett is left the room. Yeah, I'd like to move that Q23 supply of power to Mitchell Camdraft Buildings Option 1's 30,753 move forward to be included in the Q2 review, Q2 budget review to be funded. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Guthrie. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes.
7.
Councillor Hancock, yes.
So that's 8-0. Okay.
And Q25 on
Yeah.
page 4.
Okay, so so we're dealing with Q25, Bassett Park Roma,
Hang on, you gotta go, George.
Bassett Park Roma. We'll leave it at that. Do we have a mover? Councillor McMullen.
Mr Mayor, I'll move that Bassett, Q25, Bassett Park, Roma identified works on the grandstand box gutter and roller doors be included in the budget. What,
Money too.
38,000.
a cost of 38,000 be included in second quarter budget, is that correct? I got that right?
Yes.
Seconder, Councillor Taylor. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Hancock.
8-0. Okay. Is there anything more on C1? I think we've dealt with it all.
No, I don't know. Mr Mayor,
Councillor McMullen.
we got one,
We're now on to C2.
no, we haven't finished C1 yet, Mr Mayor.
We haven't.
no, you have. I'm
Yeah.
just,
Where did Q24 come in?
that was the original one.
We won't get that.
No, that's.
No?
We went to the first one.
Oh, yes, so it's been left out, sorry, that's all right, my mistake.
Okay, C2, 2021-22 quarter two budget review to 31st of December 2021. Do we have a mover? Councillor O'Neill.
I'll move that C2 2021-22 quarter two budget review to 31st of December be deferred until the next ordinary meeting of council.
Do we need anything else, or is the stuff that's got to be added to it will be added to it automatically,
and-
will it?
So that's point one. And point two, a list of capital works that capital projects that have not started be tabled to the next council meeting.
Okay, we have a seconder, Councillor Ladbrook. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Councillor Hancock, yes.
Okay. I'd also like to move in relation to C2.
Is this an additional?
Yeah, just, I had that wording, I think, that you did up, CEO.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Have you got that, have you?
Okay.
And is that date okay for you?
Um,
Longer than 28th of February, is
enough time?
Through the chair, the 28th of February was the cut-off date, so yes, I will need longer time in relation to the report. What you could probably say that might be simple would be to bring forward the Q3 review to be tabled at the March meeting as at the 28th of February,
Righto.
2022, and then including a report on efficiencies.
We can't lay it on the
And-
table without a resolution.
We're just not adopting it though.
Righto, I'd like to move the council bring forward the Q3 review to be tabled at the ordinary meeting in March.
Is that the first ordinary?
Probably the second. Yeah.
Second,
Yes.
as at, well, it's, should that be at the front, like
Yeah,
in it?
probably would. Through the chair, that council bring forward the Q3 review to, as at 28th of February 2022. We'll tidy that up a bit for you. But everyone in the room knows what it means, to be tabled at the next ordinary meeting on the relevant date in March,
Second ordinary meeting.
at the second ordinary meeting in March, including a report on
Yeah, including a report on
efficiencies and
efficiencies and opportunities or options to,
to maintain a surplus budget.
to maintain a surplus budget as handed down by council. Do we have a seconder? Councillor McMullen, any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it or against? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Councillor Hancock, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to C3. I'd like to move in relation to C3. Do you have that wording?
To me, for the first part that councillors O'Neill and Lanabrook moved and people deferring for C2 and the list of capital projects. Did council vote on that
Yeah.
Which was that for?
Yeah, we did.
first part?
No, did we?
Yeah.
You sure? What is everyone's
What
memory?
are we referring to?
Well, because I asked the question of the mayor, was that additional point to be separate? But I don't think that council undertook a vote.
Oh, you moved two today, Cameron, haven't you?
I definitely moved it, and
What
Councillor
time?
Ladbroke said
What,
you-
what was,
yeah.
that was C2, was it?
Yeah, C2 part one,
Cameron
O'Neill,
and Laddie, and I put down 9-0.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the vote.
I wrote 9-0 down, and the second one was 9-0.
What's the one you voted against? That was the one before.
Let's take the vote.
Aye?
You want to
I
take
think
it?
it's 9-0.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, yeah. I wrote it down.
Righto, so well, it's not the end of the world. It's come back next week anyway, isn't it? So. Okay, now, what page is?
45 and that.
Well, it's changed since it'd be on the screen. Won't be on the thing.
Okay, so C3, nomination of project for funding under the Australian Government's Remote Roads Upgrade Pilot Program. I would like to move, and I think we've got it here somewhere. It's the one that, didn't we type it up somewhere?
Yeah.
Cal, it was on the screen. It was already on the screen before. Yeah,
Do you send it up?
it's at number 1. Keep going up.
Chair, it's probably just spelling out that dot point number 2 a little bit more. So, Kel, if you just wanted to grab that dot point number 2 on
Okay.
Maranoa Bitumen extension, just a bit more completeness instead of just 20 code that one.
That was the only change.
That's correct.
Okay, that one, which one are we going with there? So,
Blue one.
up the top, is that start at number 1?
Yes. Through the
Okay, 1, nominate the following projects under the Remote Roads Upgrade Pilot Program. 1, strategic bitumen extensions to council's local roads of regional significance network, Redford Road, brackets 8.75 kilometres from existing bitumen, and Yulbar Surat Road, 8.75 from Carnarvon Highway, and 2, Bollen Road, bitumen extension 20 kilometres south from existing bitumen. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or delegate to sign the submission form and any further agreements with the Australian Government as required. And
4,
3.
do we need that one?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. And then that'd be 3 now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure, Transport and Regional Development, the Honourable Barnaby Joyce, MP, acknowledging Council's appreciation of the Government's initiative in providing new pilot funding program that helps providing funding in an area of real need, being the ongoing investment and upgrade of, I think we should put in there, remote rural roads in line with the program. Okay, do we have a seconder? Councillor Burkett, and
Did you mean to say in line with the program, or?
no, just in upgrade of
Roads.
remote rural roads.
Through you, Mr. Chair, do you mind if I just say something?
Sure.
I just think through the discussion there's been Bollen Road taken out of that first dot point. There's,
Oh, right.
there's only the,
I
there's
didn't
only
think that was the intention.
yeah there's only 2 roads there, so
We
I
need-
just
Because
didn't
you
you
don't
leave
have
on?
the
Yep.
20 kilometres then.
correct. Yeah, so might just need.
We just lost you.
We just have to grab that first one.
So massage 2 into 1, is it?
Yeah, so point 1 needs to be exactly the same, Kel. Yeah.
Yep, I saw that too,
Oh,
Deputy
right.
Director.
Otherwise you don't get your 20 Ks in there.
Yeah.
And point 2 is either or, sort of like they can make their mind up what they would like, wouldn't they? So we'll make that clear in the, if this gets up.
Yeah, correct, Chair. Well, that resolution, as I see it, will complete 2 applications,
Yep.
submit to the same program as is there. So
Sounds good. Okay, is the seconder happy with that change?
I'm glad it's picked up.
Righto. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? I certainly do. I say whenever the government, I take our hats off to the federal government providing 80% funding, even though council will have to find the amount of the balance needed. This is an opportunity to do some of our most remote roads and roads that really need support. So I thank the federal government and hope that the Maranoa is looked on kindly with this program. Does anyone else wish to speak? Councillor Burkett.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just think also it's a great opportunity, and hopefully we are successful, because these roads pop up on our CRs, and we all know how desperate these property owners and people in the community want these roads sorted out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it to fruition.
Does anyone else wish to speak? For or against? Then we're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Councillor
Yes.
Hancock, yes.
Okay, that's 9-0, if everyone agrees with that. Any other further business, councillors? Then we'll close the special meeting at 5:40 PM and thank you for your attendance.